All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over, man. So, Diddy did not take the plea deal. And got this video here from News Nation said, would Diddy take a plea deal? Maybe, lawyer says. I just feel like this case going to trial with everything that's being accused of him, everything we know to be accused and alleged. I got to see what this lawyer is going to say as far as what is the time that they're trying to offer him in this plea deal. Because word on the streets is like he could be looking at life in prison. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Prominent trial attorney Dante Mills is here with me now to talk more about this. Dante, good to see you. Let's start with the plea deal. Don't know exactly what it is. You actually believe that it's not necessarily off the table yet? He might take a deal?
It's never off the table. And I handle a lot of cases, and that first deal, very rarely do you take. I think that's the start of the process. I know that it's going to have to be something where that he's not going to spend a substantial time in jail talking about 10 years or anything like that. Why would you take that? You would rather go to trial and see what the end result is. But if they can offer him something where it's in that 5-year range and there's an understanding that he'll be cleared of everything else, it's going to be appealing to him.
Well, here's the thing.
5 years and be cleared of everything. I mean, if we're being honest here, I feel like he's trying to get, of course, no time, like 0, because 5 years in prison for Diddy with everything that has been coming out, I don't know if he would last in there. But, you know, you've seen all the jokes and memes and stuff saying this is like going home for Diddy because, you know, it's been alleged that he likes to dabble in a lot of things, you know, but boy, I don't want to sit up here and say like 5 years, like nobody want to spend any time in prison at all. But 5 years?
Right? He wanted to go to trial as quickly as possible. He thinks he has the good...
Except for the fact that...
So you think because that tape is coming in, it changes the whole game?
I think that tape absolutely changes the whole game. Listen, I know we're having a talk here. Let's just break it down. Sean Combs, Diddy, was a hero to a lot of people. He was a guy who pulled himself up by his bootstraps. He was known as a hard worker, but he worked hard and he played hard. That was a part of his lifestyle. To a lot of people, they wanted to be that. But heroes don't beat women. And when you see someone hit a woman the way he did and treat her that way, that hero nostalgia goes away. So there's a lot of people that wouldn't have convicted him, just said, oh, he was enjoying his life with these parties. But now they're going to look at him differently.
But here's the counter-argument. He's not charged with sexual assault. He's not charged with battery. He's charged with sex trafficking. Now, the prosecution will say she was running away from a room where there was a sex worker in there. Drags her back to the room. That's the allegation. But the defense will say this was a unfortunate domestic spat. They know they're going in there. You think everything changed today because of what's allowed in? I mean, they did get some wins today in terms of what
they did, but we do know the law and most everything is about controlling the narrative. And if this jury, despite what the actual charges are, if they don't like who's in front of them, then they're more likely to believe the charges against them. That's just a fact. I've experienced that.
Boy, he is literally saying what I have been saying this whole time. They're going to, even though he's not being charged for these things, they're going to see that tape and he's going to be judged from that tape. And for me, rightfully so. Rightfully so. because I hate that whole statute of limitation. Like, he did this so long ago, he can't be charged for it. It's like, come on, man. Like, but yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have to edit stuff out of what was said in this, but we'll see. I'll try to leave it up.
That's why when you go into any trial, you want to make the defendant, you want to bring out the good in them. So jurors look at them a certain way. People are not looking at Sean Combs the way they used to.
Right.
That glamour, that polish is gone. So they're going to be more likely to accept that he's done other bad things.
I think he wanted everything in his power to get rid of the transportation to engage in prostitution charges, said they were racist charges, wanted to make sure the jury never considered them, because it seems to me those might be the easiest charges to actually convict him of. If he was actually transporting sex workers, hotel receipts, monetary receipts, travel receipts.
Yeah.
But do you think this prosecution has a slam dunk case with racketeering, criminal enterprise, sex trafficking?
No, I don't think the racketeering is really going to go that far, because he ran a successful business, right? And it was about much more than these freak-offs or sex parties. That was almost like a side impact or a side effect of everything else that was going on. So it's going to be hard for them to say he put this together for the purposes of committing that crime. He's not making a ton of money. He's not profiting or anything like that off of these freak-offs. He's more using that just for his nostalgia and his prestige.
Well, let's say people testify who worked for him and said, yeah, we recruited these women. Yeah, he promised them benefits. We paid certain people. We brought in sex workers. Some people, there was, allegations of forced labor, kidnapping, drug distribution, these underlying crimes for racketeering. Real quick thoughts on that?
Well, it's Diddy parties. People wanted to be at Diddy parties. So that's what the defense is going to put forward. Listen, people wanted to be a part of this, and Diddy was generous, right? So he did that not because he had to, but he was a generous person. They wanted to be there anyway.
Real quick, the prosecution said that they want to discuss this medical procedure that one of Combs' victims underwent. We don't know really what that's about, but it was allegedly is going to show the degree of control Combs had. What on earth is that about?
If it shows some force, then you have to look at the body part. Is it the vaginal area? Is it maybe the wrist if somebody was tied? So that's what you're going to be looking for. What body parts are impacted? If it shows some kind of force to the point that she needed some medical care, maybe a surgery, that's going to make people say, okay, clearly maybe they were doing something against people's will. But again, he was a hero. People wanted to be around him. It's going to be hard to do that outside of this tape showing him beating a woman.
They won this win today. This forensic psychologist, Dr. Dawn Hughes, going to testify for the prosecution. She testified in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. She can't talk about coercive control, basically because it conflicts with what the legal definition is. And the jurors, by the way, they don't necessarily need an expert for a lot of this, right? They're
going to piece together if someone was there voluntarily or not. And again, I keep going back to this tape, the tape with the beating. That's why it's so important. Without that, the people wanting to be around Diddy is what everybody is going to think. But when they see him putting his hands on a woman, they're going to think he could do that to anybody, including these people who were coming to the party. And that's why they were afraid in those situations.
My thing is when they see this tape, like I said in the other video, people I'm pretty sure have seen the tape already, but they're going to break it down in a way where the video is going to be viewed differently. And they hit the nail on the coffin with this, basically saying this tape is going, it damaged his character. Yeah, he liked to have fun and be freaky and all that stuff. But it's like, okay, so what is this? Big damper on his character. I said that. That's what I've been trying to say. They put it in words perfectly. I just can't see a world where he's only getting 5 years in prison. That would shock me. Totally shock me. But again, people did go to these parties. You see video footage of people talking about how much fun they would have and this and this and that. But we're trying to find out about the levels. There are different levels. It's rumored that people as celebrities who weren't there at the top tier type parties, they went to like maybe level 3. Let's say there's 5 levels to the party. People were at level 3. And they're like, I didn't see none of this stuff going on. Yeah, you know what? You left around 2 in the morning. If you would have stayed to 4, 5, you would have seen. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll see. Again, I'm going to apologize in advance here because I don't know what I had to edit out. I'm going to try to upload the video as is, but it's a lot of words in here that may be said that I have to take out. So we'll see. But you guys should already know. It's basically, they were talking about what he was charged for and stuff like that. So appreciate y'all coming over. Peace out.